What's up? Hey, hello, everyone. We are back with a new episode of our podcast. This week, we're talking about episode 4 of Survivor Season 31 Second Chance. It was an awesome episode. I think one of the better episodes since the premiere of the season 3 weeks ago. So, my name is Rachel.
And I'm Alyssa. Thanks for sticking with us through our technical difficulties last week, guys. I know that no one wants to see my face that much, but hopefully this week it's all working right, so you'll be able to see Rachel some.
Yeah, hopefully it's working. Last week we got to see all of Alyssa's reactions, what she's doing when I'm talking. Very interesting. So I guess we can get started. Jeremy and Steven Fishback, Jeremy tells Steven, you gotta, let's look for the idol. They want to be buddy-buddy, but poor Steven wanting to find the idol that isn't there.
I didn't know that Jeremy could be that ruthless, man. Like, I thought that he was, like, a pretty nice guy. And then he, like, goes and does that to Steven.
Yeah, like, dang, Jeremy. He wants to be the new JT. I thought that was cute, Steven and JT BFFs. Steven was Steven was JT's, like, best man at JT's wedding, like, best friend goals, right?
I didn't know that. But, like, part of it also was, I'm pretty sure Jeremy was intentionally trying to get Steven to try to climb trees. And I can't see that going very well for Steven, just because he's not very coordinated.
Yeah, he wants to use Steven as, like, a shield later in the game, like, saying, like, Steven's a bigger threat than me, guys, so don't vote me, Jeremy, out. So hopefully, I don't know, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, going on to Anchor, their tribe is a dead cove. They have literally nothing. They're literally dying. Like, it's terrible for them.
They got so excited over that one snail. Oh, I felt so bad for them.
Yeah, I know. And then in the hero reward challenge, Savage was literally dying. And even in the immunity challenge, they all looked like they were about to drop dead right there.
I was actually legitimately worried for Savage after that challenge. Like, he looked like he was actually... I had some heart palpitations. And I looked over to my sister and was like, do you think that he's gonna pass out? And she was like, I wouldn't doubt it. But then he didn't pass out, so we were kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I know. I was really rooting for Anchor in that reward challenge. Like, they were so far behind, and I was like, it would be just great for them to win those sausages and get that meal. Like, underdog story. It was a cute, like, play to see them so far behind and Savage pulling through to win.
I thought that Tasha's reaction to it was, like, the most heartbreaking thing, because, like, when you see it on the television, it doesn't look as if they haven't eaten for 4 days. It looks like they haven't eaten for, like, a couple hours maybe, but then someone says, we haven't eaten for 4 days, and then he goes and does that. I would not be able to do that if I hadn't eaten for 4 days.
Yeah, like, all of those 3 teams, did they have, like, a pact to send up their oldest guy into the challenge? Because Anchor set in Savage, and then Jeremy ran, and Terry Dietz ran. It was sort of weird that, why didn't Woo or Joe, very amazing Joe, go and run the challenge?
I was really surprised that Woo didn't, just because, like, I guess maybe they expected Savage to be able to do better with no food.
Yeah, but, yeah.
I don't think I've really had that happen to him.
Yeah, Woo was a beast at the first in the premiere with the swimming, though. He, like, got that bag of rice for them. So it's interesting that all of the 3 teams sent up their older guys. I don't know. Why would you want to volunteer? I feel like you could get hate if you lose, or you could be the hero if you win.
I feel like with those things, it's best not to volunteer for something. Because, like, if your tribe sends you up and you win, you can be like, yeah, I did really well. Thanks for choosing me, guys. And that automatically endears you to them. But then if you don't do well, it's kind of their fault for like pushing you to go up. So
Yeah, I feel like maybe Joe didn't run, like maybe he didn't want to get tired out or something, or maybe like he didn't want a target on his back. So like if he went out there and like crushed the competition, then everyone would have a reaffirmed like suspicion about Joe's amazing abilities. So it just reminds everyone that he's amazing at everything.
yeah.
Yeah, Terry did good, and then it looked like Jeremy, was he purposely going slow at the end? He just looked like
I mean, running through water isn't easy just because, like, if water's a certain height, then you can't really swim in it, but you also have to, like, high kick in order to run. So you should know this, Rachel. You're a swimmer. Get with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he didn't want a target on his back, so he purposely went slow to lose.
I'm pretty sure that put a target on his back, but I don't know. Who knows what's going through their heads? That looked like a lot of running, though, so
Yeah, it
I
was
hope.
a lot of water, like Savage dying almost, basically. It was good to see them win something for once in their dead cove of a camp.
Yeah, but I don't think that the one good meal ended up helping him in the end. Like, I
Yeah,
understand why they ate it all at once, because, like, sausages spoil really quickly, and if there's anything you don't want, it's eating spoiled meat. But I think that having one big meal probably didn't make up for 4 days of starvation.
yeah, probably. Yeah, so I guess, that Cass birthday gift for Kelly, that was really interesting.
I thought that was really sweet, just because, like, I think it would have been funny if, like, Cass had, like, actually been making a fake immunity idol and was so blatantly obvious about it and was like, go away, Kelly. Like, if that actually happened, Cass would be so stupid.
Yeah, it was so cute, Cass saying she read books about how to like make friends and influence people. Like that's the way to go. She's like the epitome of what this season is about, the change and evolution to her character. She'll probably be Chaos Cast later, which will make for good TV. But right now, I think that was a really cute scene for Cass. She really has her eye on the prize of actually winning and trying to get votes at the end by being nice to people.
Yeah. When was Kelly's birthday? Because Cass said, like, happy belated birthday, but I don't think they ever mentioned it earlier, so.
Unlike last season with Rodney being a baby about his birthday and not getting on the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, what did you think she was making when it was first showed?
I had no idea. Like, I thought maybe it was going to be like some sort of like tribal unity thing. Like, each of us is a bead, and on this bracelet, we make something beautiful. But
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like a friendship bracelet or something, so I guess that was sort of close.
she's
And
not
maybe,
a teenage girl.
who knows, maybe she just wanted to be friends and make a cool bead bracelet. But yeah, maybe this is foreshadowing more fake idols in the future because I read like that the idols in the future might look more like normal everyday objects, so it's easier to make fake ones. So maybe we'll see a stick like in Micronesia, and then
No,
someone will play that.
I still like think about that stick on a regular basis. This is just a stick. Like, uh, Jason was so stupid.
Yeah,
All
I
of the
know.
fans were so stupid.
At least Eliza was a smart enough. Like Ozzy, that thing looked like such like a stick. How would anyone fall for that? It was a stick with two divots.
Well, that's part of the good thing about playing with returning players. Like, they're not going to be quite as stupid. Quite.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully, we can see some sticks in the future. That would be sort of funny.
If an idol was actually a stick, I would cry.
Yeah, these are like the ones Jeremy and Kelly found. They're like beads with like a little medallion kind of thing.
Yeah.
Looks like Joe's from last season, sort of. So maybe they're becoming more wilderness-y.
Well, Bion, Spencer, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
throwing Wiggles under the bus.
you don't make friends by throwing people under the bus. I'm sure Cass could have told him that.
True. Yeah, we got finally a good confessional from Monica, liking what I'm seeing coming out of her.
She's going uphill. I was like, at first it started out kind of obvious, but she put a little bit of brain.
Yeah, this confessional showed actual strategy. Like last time she got a confessional but was more like basic knowledge, but this was actual strategy. So good for her. She's thinking out there. Foreshadowing for a female alliance, maybe?
I personally don't think that a female alliance will work. I feel like it's one of those things that like people try to do, but I feel like the guys after Micronesia are a lot more aware of stuff like that. So
Their female alliance in Micronesia was so good though. Like
that
it
was
was
like
great.
goals.
Yeah, female alliance goals basically. So Spencer or Wigglesworth out next. Maybe out of their tribe if there's not a merge or something, maybe.
Well, that's assuming that anger can actually win something.
True. We'll talk about that at the end, I guess. So, immunity challenge. Keith. Poor Keith. Can't hear. I think he
I
needs
can't
to.
hear.
He was like a few feet away. Like, why can't you hear?
I mean,
Like, I can see if you're far away. He was literally next to the collar trying to put the piece down. And then he's like, I can't hear.
part of it's just really funny because like he is like an older guy, so it kind of just fits in with stereotypes, I think.
Yeah, might need to get that hearing checked out, Keith. You might have a problem. But yeah, Joe linebacking blindfolded. Like, what? Isn't he afraid he would run into someone head on? I was scared. Like, what if he crashed into
I
someone?
mean, he's holding the piece in front of him, so really, if he crashed into someone, it wouldn't be that bad. There were a lot of injuries from that challenge, though. Like the montage. The
Yeah,
montage.
that was scary. Like, what if someone had to get medevaced or like had something bad to them? Like, that would be so terrible. Like last season, right? She got her head bashed in by the piece. Like,
Well,
I don't know. Blindfolded things
that's
are.
exaggerating. She didn't like get her head bashed in.
It was bloodied. But yeah, blindfolded challenge are really fun to watch. I don't know. It was sort of
I think
dangerous.
that blindfolded challenges should be done with small objects that cannot like fatally injure. What if someone had like dropped a block on their head? Like, I'm actually serious. That could have happened.
Yeah, Savage almost died. You know, Spencer like and Tasha both got crushed. Like, what if
Yeah.
something bad happened to all of our favorites? That would be terrible. Medevacs because you dropped a block on yourself. That would be terrible.
I'm pretty sure that in all of the seasons where there have been returning players, someone has ended up medevacs. Except for heroes versus villains, I think.
Yeah. In that first challenge, like Rupert broke a toe and whatever, and
And Stephanie
Stephanie's
dislocated her
arm.
shoulder. That was actually the challenge that has had the most non-medevac injuries.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it would have been bad if someone was medevaced. I mean, that would just be terrible. Ending the game because you were hurt into a immunity challenge. And yeah, Anchor just standing there during the puzzle. It looked like they were just giving up or
I
they were
felt
done.
so bad for them because it didn't even look like they were giving up like they didn't want to. It looked like they actually physically could not move anymore. I was worried about them.
Yeah, Savage still again looked like he was about to pass out and just die. And
Like they were all like leaning against the pieces.
yeah, and Varner dropped a block on his foot.
I had like so many emotional moments. I was on a roller coaster, just like, especially during that challenge. Like, it was funny to watch the like montage of like Keith saying, "I can't hear," and like all of the people getting hurt. But at the same time, it was really scary.
Yeah, I really like that editing. I thought it was quick and like fast-paced stuff to see, and then it got right back to the point of like the puzzle and finding all 16 pieces. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I feel like if you had actually had to watch the whole thing, that would have been boring. Just 'cause it took them quite a bit to get back those 16 pieces. Just 'cause
Yeah,
they were so far away and they were so.
I know. Blindfolds must be really hard. It's hard to walk around the house blindfolded, like walking around like no man's land must be pretty difficult.
I feel like it must be hard for a caller to control, like the Takeo and Bion. They each had 5 people to control. Like that must.
Yeah, like, it must be hard to actually hear when you're far away, and like they were screaming like crazy, so
Yeah.
it's a difficult challenge. Good thing no one got medevaced, so it's all good. Anchor loses again.
Well, after seeing their abysmal start to the puzzle, like I sort of had hope for them with how quickly they brought back the pieces.
Mhm.
Like they did not do that puzzle well at all.
Yeah, good for them, you know, good for Bion. They got their intellectuals on that puzzle and they pulled through. That weren't they the last to get all the pieces and then they were the first to finish. So
I'm pretty
yippee.
sure that like they all got their pieces pretty much within like 2 or 3 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
So
And at least we got our prediction about Anchor going back to tribal today.
I mean that wasn't exactly hard to predict. We're not super geniuses or anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
after Jeff got hurt, I think it became pretty obvious who was gonna go out. That was just
yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, Varner saying that he's not a physical threat. I don't know. It might have been too early to be saying that kind of thing. That's more of an individual game kind of thing to say. Because now you really need that tribe strength. Like, good thing
Yeah, like
Wood
they
voted
need
out.
physical threats if they have any hope of winning.
Yeah, I was like, if Abby wanted to vote like Woo out, like they are literally screwing themselves because they would lose every challenge after this. So even though
Yeah.
I like Varner, he's great TV. I mean, you have to keep Woo now.
Yeah, it was definitely his time to go. I thought they were gonna vote Abby. My sister and I were sitting on the sofa and we were like praying for a hashtag blindside. But apparently it didn't occur to anyone to vote Abby.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, why would they not just vote Abby out? Like, she's unpredictable, flip-flopping on every single vote of the season so far. She's been to all 4 tribals. Every time a Takeo's been voted out. Each time she's flipped on the people she was working with last episode. Like, why did they care so much about Abby's vote? It wasn't like a tie. Like, they had 3 to vote Varner out. Unless
Yeah,
they wanted to keep Abby happy, so she's like on their side. But she flips too much.
I think that Abby is just a lot more trouble than she's worth. Which brings
Yeah.
us to predictions for the future.
Yes, I feel like PG and Varner were both screwed by the tribe swap. I mean, I really hope next week there's a merge into 2 tribes of 8, so that's 16 people total. Hopefully 2 tribes of 8. Like, I really want to see what's happening at the other tribes camps because we only got like 1 confessional from Bion and 1 from Takeo tonight. It was all Anchor focused. I really, really hope like we can see more of the other players. Like, is Kimmy still on this season? Like,
Yeah, there's some players we have not seen a lot of. Sierra, we haven't seen a lot of. Keith, not really, other than his hearing problems.
yeah, we haven't seen much of Wigglesworth except from the premiere. She had a lot of stuff. She hasn't had any confessionals really since. Like, I really want to see what's going on. A lot of the people from the original Bion tribe haven't been to tribal council yet. Like, I really want to see how the tribes will divide, like, who's working with who, actually, instead of all this buddy.
I think also, like, in the very beginning, there was a lot of focus on, like, old school versus new school, but I think that's kind of been dissolved. Like, you can't really say, well, I'm only going to work with old school players just because that didn't work before they split into 3 tribes, so.
Oh yeah. I wanted to mention at the tribal council, good for Wu. He finally had some fire under his butt. Like he stood up for himself. Like he's not that I don't know. He has good ideas, but I feel like he's not that articulate. Maybe he should join debate team or something to work on that. But good for him standing up for himself. He really didn't want to go home. Like, looking forward to Woo.
I really liked it because, like, Wu and Varner, like, kept it classy. I feel like one of the biggest problems with girls in Survivor is that they don't care about the hair pulling, and, like, they're willing to attack each other and yell at each other. But Wu and Varner both, like, laid out their case, and they both made very good points about why they should stay and why the other person should go. So, like, I feel like that's more what tribal should be instead of just the, like, sassing each other and the hurt feelings and all of that. I liked how they shook hands.
Yeah, loyalty versus tribe strength. Like, and yeah, moving on to next episode, I feel like why has Anchor not found their idol yet? You know, interesting. Maybe someone will find it next week if there isn't a merge.
Well, I think if you're starving to death, I'm thinking about finding an idol.
Yeah, maybe Abby will look for it next week if there's not a merge because she'll be the next one voted out if Anchor goes back to tribal. Yeah. And then next week, if there is not a merge, the other two tribes will have to sit out 2 people in the immunity challenge. So that means Savage, Tasha, Wu, and Abby. 3 of which are pretty strong. Abby's strong-ish. And then the other 2 tribes will have to sit out 2 people. So it'll be really interesting if there's a reward challenge and then the immunity challenge. Like, the other tribes will have to plan, like, who to sit out because they'll have to sit out one of their stronger people. So that'll even the playing field, I feel like.
Yeah. But I feel like there's going to be a merge just because if there isn't, then Anchor is just going to keep losing. And if there isn't, then they're probably going to have to wait an additional week so the tribes both start at equal players. So.
Yeah, if there's not a merge at 16 into 2 tribes of 8, then they'll have to wait till 14 for 2 tribes of 7. And then it'll be really close to the actual merge if they do it at like 12 or something.
Yeah, or they could do it at 10, in which case. Yeah.
I feel like this 3 tribe thing has run its course. They need to go back to 2 to switch it up because I really want to see what's happening with the other tribes. How's Fishbach doing?
Plus, like, the 3 tribes, I feel like they didn't end up very balanced at all.
Yeah, Anchor got the short end of the stick, really.
I think that if Anchor had a camp, they might have been a little bit better off. Like, I feel like some of the stronger players could have dealt better with the lack of food and the lack of shelter. But, meh.
Yeah, so do we want to predict for next week who we think is going to be voted up?
I'm going first.
Okay.
It's gonna be Abby. I've said this for the past 2 weeks, but I swear to God, this time it's for real. It's gonna be Abby.
Okay, why do you think Abby? So you think there's no tribe swap merge thing?
I feel like even if there is a tribal merge, once like people like once Savage and Tasha don't have to work with Abby anymore, I feel like they're not going to. Like, I think they only worked with Abby in part because they needed to work with her in order to not get voted off themselves. And as you said earlier, like the old Bion versus the old Takeo, it's like 10-6. So I feel like no matter where they go, they're going to end up with a numbers advantage. So.
Yeah, then maybe Abby will say Wu voted for her 3 times now and not stop repeating that and never let it die. She said that so much.
Get over it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I know. Before
bygones, we got bygones, water under the bridge and all that.
Yeah, before the season, she said she thought Wu was the best-looking male out there, and now she's like, Wu voted for me twice.
Well, you can still think that someone's good-looking even if they vote for you. So.
I guess so. Yeah, okay, my turn. I don't know. I'm not going to pick Abby again for the heck of it. We picked her twice out of the 4 now, and it hasn't been right. But knowing this, she'll probably go home next week.
And then I will get a point.
Yeah, we're both at 0-0. Great. I'm gonna say, I don't know. No, the preview for next week looked like I don't know. It looked like all the tribes were still in their 3 separate, but the preview looked really disjointed. Like, it was just really weird. So it didn't show anything together.
It was disjointed on purpose
to make it look like a merge, like not like a merge, but then it is like a tribe swap. Yeah, so that makes it extra difficult. I think Bion will go to Tribal Council because, so the Abion now, I guess we'll say, with the 6th right now, if there isn't a merge. Because with the thing with Monica tonight, we got some insight about to their sort of tribe dynamics. Maybe that's foreshadowing for the next week or next 2 weeks or something, hopefully. So with that, I don't know. Well, 6 on Bion, and if they go, I don't think Kimmy's going. I don't think Monica's going. It really depends who's working together. Like, Monica could do a girls thing with Kimmy, Monica, Wiggles, and then pull in one of the others to vote out Spencer. But I feel like Jeremy won't want Spencer to go. He wants that sort of alpha male thing to have like the other strong guys around him. So maybe that'll go and bite Monica in the butt, and Monica will be voted out. So I'll say Monica.
Solid guess. I just think as the numbers go down, we have a better and better chance of guessing correctly, especially considering, like, once we know, like, when there will be merges and stuff, like, after the final merge, when they're all playing individually, I feel like it might be easier to start guessing who's gonna win and stuff.
Yeah, there's still so many strong players like Joe Cool, super amazing Joe's still here. Terry, 1-5 immunities. Keith, old dude, he's rocking it in the immunities in his season. Like, Jeremy's strong, Savage strong, Tasha's the strongest female. I mean,
I feel like it's one of those things where you can't really, like, say, well, they're not strong because of this. Like, on Heroes versus Villains, I don't think anyone would have expected Parvati to be, like, such a challenge beast, but she was, so.
Yep, everyone left is strong. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, yeah. So, I think that's all we have to say for this week. Thank you for commenting and subscribing and all the wonderful things that you do for us. We love you. We will see you next week, and we will see whether or not I am correct. It's going to happen eventually. If Abby wins this game, I'm going to be so upset. Anyways, see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.